Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Pamela Cotton Roberts, and I'm the director here at Water of Life Embrace Me program for the court-appointed special advocate, which is called Casa. And here we have two members who are affiliated with Casa. We have Tracy and Robert, who will be collaborating with you this afternoon on parts of how involved they are with the Casa program. So we're not going to keep you going. We're going to go directly and straight to the program. And I'm going to start with you, Tracy. I want to know and let the audience know, how did you become involved with Casa?
It's a long story, but I'm going to try to shorten it down just for interview purposes. A couple years ago, I was actually going through, becoming a foster parent. And in that process, one of the instructors at the agency at Hannah's, he said, well, because you like to advocate for people, you should be a Casa. And I'm thinking, what is a Casa? He gave me the the meaning of the acronym, and which is a court-appointed special advocate. And he said, well, because you answer your questions and how you conduct your answers and things like that, you have a heart for kids, basically. And I said, well, yeah, I always had a heart for our youth. And he said, so you should try it. So I just kind of like dismissed it and put it on the back burner, and I'll continue to go through the foster care training, and got to the end of the training, and I started thinking about it. Well, maybe I should look into it. So I actually went and looked it up, and and did that, and just kind of went through some high points of what is a Casa. So working with Embrace Me here at Water of Life, we decided to, well, let's all try it out. And just go through it and see what it's about, and so we entered into the program, and here I am.
Everything just took off from there. I see. So what does being a Casa entails?
Well, first of all, how it came up with Embrace Me and the Water of Life is, we contacted the office through our liaison, which is Pam here, and what it entails is you go through 30 hours of training, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot of training involved, and it is pretty intense, but it doesn't go, as far as a lengthy process. But you do get all of the information, so you don't go in ill-equipped. And it's also what you have to do every, for the 12 months that you're involved in it, which is an 18-month commitment. But for 12 months, you have to have continual education. So it doesn't sound like, it's a hard thing to go through, but, it's with the Casa agency, they actually give you that training. So every month they provide continual education. Usually it's like 2 hours, for that month, or something like that. And what you do is just go to the continual education. They document it on a timesheet, and that fulfills that commitment. Another thing is, like I mentioned, is the 18-month commitment. So you have an 18-month commitment with each youth. So if you think about becoming a Casa, just, kind of keep that in mind to, you want to fulfill that commitment.
So that answer also how you can become a representative for Casa as well.
Exactly. And the thing is, too, is, besides all of the continual education and the training, I mean, you really have to have a heart for kids, and by no fault of their own, they got caught up in a situation. They could be missing parents. Parents could be involved in, things that are not cohesive with the, family environment. So you have to really, put those things in perspective and move forward with that.
Yes. Now, why is it important for Christian to be involved with Casa?
Well, again, I mean, a heart for kids. Anybody with, a heart for God, anybody that's seeking after the Lord, they're going to have that. People matter. That's the thing here at our church, Water and Life, is people do matter. We have, compassion for, people, and, we have a heart for God. So that's the most important thing. I was with my youth, you know, and I'm not allowed to give a lot of details with that because there's a lot of classified information going on. But, you know, I was with my youth, you know, just sitting, you know, in front of a smoothie place. And, you know, we were just out there having smoothies, you know, outside, just looking at the mountains, you know, and just talking. And, you know, he said, you know, which broke my heart, you know, it really hit me. You know, he said, you know, I've never sat with my dad doing this. You know, I've never had a conversation with him like this, you know, and at first I didn't know what to say, but, you know, I'm thinking, you know, anybody that had children or have raised other children or, you know, blended families or anything, just do what you would do, you know, with your own children, you know, and, you know, then it became easy, you know, easy to do, you know. So even though listening to, you know, that kind of situation was hard, still, you know, you just have to go back in your mind because, you know, we're advocating for them. You know, that means, you know, that means a lot to them, you know, just kind of find out what the benefits are for them, you know, making sure that they're connected with those benefits, you know, different things like that. And also just, you know, just being a parent, basically, but not a parent. You know, mostly being a friend to them, talking, you know, with them. I sat out on the field and watched soccer with a pizza, you know, with my youth. You know, we just sat out there in the grass, you know, just watching the game. You know, so that's needed. That's needed with our youth these days.
And it is it is needed, definitely. Now, Robert, how has Casa influenced you? We know you were a part of Casa and you had a lot to do with Casa, so we would like for you to share your experience with us about this program.
Well, like every child, when my first Casa came to me, Evelyn, she came with love and the power of the Holy Spirit, you know? And we just, Casas do a lot for their children. They do, actually, that's a fact, because they act like, I was treated like I was her own. And she's already raised kids to be, you know, lawyers and, you know, all this really successful stuff. It's a really happy experience too. Like you feel the love, like the moment they walk in the room, and it's just it's a really big blessing to have a Casa.
Yes.
My experiences are with my Casa, Evelyn. She actually has a very rich spiritually, moral, and money-wise, very rich husband who gives her money and she don't know what to do with it. So what does she spend it on, right? Yeah, so far she bought me a guitar. We go out to eat like 3 times within the time period of 10 o'clock to 2:30.
Yes.
We go to the movies every single week. And she's being really used by God a lot. I've had a really bad time growing up. My biological mother, I don't even have contact with her anymore, or my bio dad.
Yes.
And I once did. I don't know why they're not talking to me.
Okay.
But she fills the gap with both them, with just her love and everything. Having a Casa is a fun experience. We gone to carnivals, you know. She's bought me like at least $10,000 worth of stuff. She actually expresses her love by giving me tips about life.
Important.
And they're just really, really good people. I advise one for every single foster child.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. As you can see, Casa is worthy, and this is the work of God. It's not through us, Embrace Me, but it's through being a Christian and knowing what God has called us to do. You've heard it from both perspectives. You've heard it for being a Casa member and being a child of a foster Casa program. So I invite each and every person who wants to influence a child or be influenced by a child, because it is rewarding. I learned so much from students who are Casa. And it's a very rich experience, and I know it's all governed by God because it's well worth it. So I would like to thank you for listening to what our program intakes, and I invite each and every person to come out and find out and go through the training. Like Tracy said, there are 30 hours of training. There's two components of that. That's the educational part, which requires 12 hours, and then there's 18 hours with the being one-on-one. So you can go and represent a child in the education center, or you can just be involved, like with Robert, and make a difference with a Casa child. Again, thank you.